Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Manchester United Agenda. It is the 22nd of October, and it is a Tuesday, I believe. Yeah? Right, good start.
Is that right?
All right, I'm joined by some very beautiful people this evening. And to start with, we've got Yabba.
Yeah, you're beautiful too, Darius.
You said yeah.
Thank you.
You said yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what's going on, Yabba?
All right, I've had a really stressful day at work. Put it that way, yeah, and a lot of things. And I was just come back now, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I feeling down? I'm not usually down at this, but sometimes I think, is it worth really taking on burdens of other people and letting all these things get you? It's like, no. It's bad enough being a Man United supporter and having to sort of go through these things every day, but I've just come here for a release, just to release and just relax and not worry about all these other things that sometimes weigh you down. So by the end of the show, I'll be a lot more lighthearted, thanks to you guys, my family, my brothers and sisters here on the agenda.
Okay, Mr. B, would you also like to release on me?
No, fuck, well done. No fucking chance. No chance. I tell you what, I ain't as depressed as Yammer. I tell you that much, mate. I ain't looking to release on nobody. I'm all good, man. I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm really looking forward to the game on Thursday.
Have you got your love back?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's mad. I Ten Hag, he really pisses me off, but I really do want him to succeed. He does. He's an absolute idiot. He's an idiot, and nothing would give me greater pleasure than for him to prove me wrong now. But my love isn't back for Ten Hag. It's the fact that we won a game and we looked like we were going to score more than 2 goals in it. You know what I mean? Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go into. I've now got that carried on into the fact that, listen, it could go within the first 20 minutes.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy it. We don't have them enough. So I want to enjoy it. And I just want it to carry on and, you know, at least until Chelsea. Carry on at least until Chelsea.
God, we're so starved, aren't we? Like, at least carry it on.
It's a joke.
And last but not least, we're joined by Dora, all the way from...
Sorry, I didn't hear you from Yaba's cough. Yeah, I mean, can you name a better love story than Ten Hag's United than a 0 goal difference? I mean, I cannot. Edward and Bella from Twilight are shook when they see United and 0 goal difference. But yeah, I'm good. I had a great weekend. I haven't watched the game, by the way, guys. So I'm a fake United fan because I was away. I had a great day on Saturday. And you know what? I was really happy to seeing United actually win. And I realized whenever I watch United these days, we are losing. So I will actually stop watching it because we are having better luck. But yeah, all jokes aside, I'm good. Who are we playing on Thursday, by the way? I've been a bit...
We got Fenerbahce. We got Jose.
Oh, you know what? I will be very keen to come on United agenda again and, you know, on that match reaction because it will be spicy. It will be really spicy. I would argue one of the probably potentially the most fun game of the year we will see. But yeah, I'm good, and I cannot wait what you have for us tonight, Bathtime.
Yeah, you strike me as very caffeinated, Dora. Like, you've got far higher energy.
No, I think you're just too tired. And when you see me, I mean, I haven't talked to you guys for a few days. And you know what? You know, the more I'm tired, the more I'm talking more. The more I'm tired, which is very weird, but that's Dora for you.
All right, thanks, Dora. Should we see who we've got in the chat then? We've got Steph. She's on time and she's ready to mod. Bigging everyone up. Big yourself up, Steph.
Hi, Steph.
We've got Simon Warner. Greetings to the Fab Four, our version of Beatles. How many Beatles?
Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Okay, are you going to be Gladys Knight?
Well, obviously that's Dora, but yeah, we can be the Pips.
All right.
Oh, I would love to be Gladys Knight.
Well, unfortunately, we've got to talk to Bart instead of imagining fantasy worlds. Right, Bart, you're in my bad books. I had to delete your comment. Please, you can't leave trolling comments before the show starts in case someone who has never come across the channel goes, oh, this looks good. This is an incredible thumbnail. And they see you talking a load of shit. Honestly. Someone who doesn't talk a load of shit is chat sport. Good evening to you. Feel bad for Madrid. Oh God, there's Champions League tonight. What's going on with Madrid?
2-0 down.
Oh my! I couldn't give less.
Why?
Sorry.
Why do you feel bad for Madrid? I don't care. I want them to get knocked out. I want them to get knocked, the whole finish 10th in their group. You know what I mean?
Who are they playing?
Dortmund.
Repeated the final last year. Yeah, 2-0 down at home.
This is such a, I mean, typical Real Madrid, in my opinion. Always a slow starter. Yeah.
Didn't they lose to Sheriff or someone like that?
Yeah.
Like one of the years they've won it. That's such a joke, man. Steph, Antony just needs Cleopatra, not Santa. It didn't really work out particularly well for Antony and Cleopatra, though. All right, what's Bart saying now? Dora recommended they have some tasty candy called Licitar.
And it's not that tasty. It's not tasty. Like it's like a candy. It's like how do you say it? It's like a cookie, but much more much better. But it's usually like an ornament, right?
What?
So it's like they make like a sweet in Licitar in the shape of the heart, and they put a small mirror, and you have a lot of they're nice, and you can put them on the Christmas tree as an ornament or as a something like that. But they're not very nice to eat.
It's called Licitar.
Yes, Licitar. Yeah, but we call it Licitarska srca. Yeah.
That's actually Sol Campbell's middle name. That's for you, Yabba.
Oh wow! Okay.
What Licitar?
Exactly. Thank you. Someone got it.
Oh, Licitar.
Yeah. All right, Simon. It's been a fun weekend for London clubs and a fun Monday for Palace. 5 teams lose. Never mind. Did all the London clubs lose?
Chelsea lost. Arsenal lost.
Arsenal lost. Spurs.
I watched that game.
West Ham.
Tottenham.
Yeah, they lost to Brighton. Yeah.
Fulham.
Fulham won.
Yes, they lost to Villa. No, they lost to Villa.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even realise. I don't care.
Brilliant. And we got Jeff in the house.
Yeah, we are. We are crazy people.
Yeah. Never heard anyone described as caffeinated before.
I mean, that's just me. That's just me.
And half the Liverpool squad. Ask Bart about it.
Yeah.
Look at it is. It's Big G. Oi, oi, Shebens. Thanks for that. And we've got Mark Igate. Everyone in the chat is doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, Mark. All right. So we've got a couple of stories for you tonight. Yesterday, we briefly touched on the Antony story, but I thought it was a little bit ridiculous. But we've been told today from the Daily Mail, which has reasonable links to Manchester United and has been a pretty reliable source, that the club have all but jettisoned Antony. His sanction he's been sanctioned. Well, not sanctioned, but they've sanctioned the transfer for him to leave in January. So let's start off with you, Yabba. I mean, how are you feeling about this? It looks like Antony could be returning to Ajax, even though they have bloody doubts about him. The club that sold him at a vastly inflated rate to us.
Yeah, look, in an era where, it used to be too up front, didn't it? And now there's wingers coming to play. especially inverted wingers. He's left-footed. He was had a lot of highlights in Ajax where he was performed really well. He's come to Man United, a big move, followed his boss, and he's stunk the place out. He scored against Arsenal, I remember, in his debut, I think. Since then, he hasn't done anything really, and he's become a joke to the club, and it's a disappointment as well. So the fact that we asked him to leave should be good news for the fans that have all been blessing me. Good news on the
Are you
fans.
allergic to him?
Exactly that. Yeah, it's good news to the fans. I think it's a positive thing to do. If you're not performing, you have to get dragged off the pitch. And if you're not performing overall, you have to get sold. You know, so, people would say, well, you should do that with the manager as well. But I don't think that's a different subject altogether. But with Antony, I look around and I think, wow, there's a lot of players I would love to have in the Premier League and in European football in that position who are performing a lot better than him. You look at Saka, you look at Barcelona, that young guy,
Yamal.
You look at even is it no? The other, was it Brighton the other day or no? Who's just been?
Are you talking about Dibble at Southampton?
Yeah, Dibble at Southampton. But there's another guy who's hardly Leicester, who hardly gets games. Came on the other day and just smashed.
Harvey Barnes?
No, the right winger. You talk about the
Black
right
guy.
winger.
Yeah,
I think his name begins with M. Yeah, he was good in the Championship last year. I've forgotten his name, but yeah, I know you're talking about.
And looks fantastic, you know. And I haven't seen any moments like that where Antony's come on and performed at a high level for a consistent amount of games. And it's really disappointing. He must be disappointed. He was up there with Rafinha at one point. Those two were fighting out in Brazilian squad. And since then, his stock's gone down. Rafinha's gone on to Barcelona and has been a really good player for them, you know. So I'm really disappointed. We need someone in that position with balance to give us that threat that we're seeing from Saka, Yamal, and all these other great players in that position. And we just want to see, to say, cut our losses and just say, look, he just needs to go, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's the end of the road, it looks like, for Antony. And I don't, look, money's money in football. We're not, it doesn't really mean anything to us. But we just need to cut our losses and let him go and try and get someone else in the side. Get Ahmad in and get someone else, maybe sign someone else to come in to do a good job in that position. Sorry, Antony, but we've had long enough to assess you, and the answer is good night.
Right. So what would you give him out of 10 then, Yabba, as a signing?
I think overall, I think he's been about 3.
A 3. All right.
Yeah, really.
What are you giving this joke out of 10? I had a power cut earlier. I felt powerless.
Very good titanium. I am titanium. That's about 2.
Is it there? Yeah.
Yaba is unimpressed.
I like jokes, but yeah, -10.
Yeah.
Oh, look. I am titanium. I'm giving you a 6 for that because I think that I want to encourage jokes in the chat and not have this cartel bullying you. And shout out to Officer Dibble from Top Cat. So from one Top Cat to another, Mr. B, what do you think about? I mean, we all know Antony is shit and he's been a bad signing, but how embarrassing is this that Ajax aren't really that Ajax are sort of umming and ahhing about taking him back?
It sounds like they're worried about his mental state as well, bringing him back after the failure that he has been. I mean, even if he was 20 million, he still would have been a disastrous signing. Do you know what I mean? I actually don't think it's got anything to do with price. Yeah, we got mugged. We did. But even, if he have been he wouldn't even have been a youth player coming through the ranks. Like somebody who you would promote.
Mari Thorson.
Yeah, he's been who Thorson? Yeah, exactly, Thorson. We let him go. I'm not going to say it's a shame. Errors are made all the time in the transfer window. I mean, Pep bought defender after defender after defender for 50 million until he got it right, but he got it right in the end. We just don't have that money to waste. So I don't know how they get rid of him. I'm going to assume he's going to have to be. He's on 200 grand. I mean, who in their right mind was going to be paying him 200 grand? Oh, good old United. So nobody who takes him is going to pay him 200 grand. So they either take him and we pay. We're going to end up.
Yeah, we pay him. That's what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, that's such a bad mistake. But look, if he goes good. It opens up the space for somebody else. Now I know Rashford. They talk about Rashford playing on the right. We've still got Ahmad. I still think we may well be short. I think we need 2 on each side to be fair. But maybe they'll go in January and they've got somebody lined up.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually, I'll tell you what I think later. I want to do the comments before we get to you, Dora. Is that okay? Or
yeah.
Contain yourself. All right, yeah. Stuart is pre-running our next story, which is about Xerxes, but we'll get to that. Right, Big G with another good point is thank Christ 100. Antony is proper dog shit. Antony mostly plays as a sub anyway. We haven't seen a lot of Antony, do you know, for, like this season. Regarding Dibbling, United should go all out and buy him. He's the closest player I've seen to Grealish. I really like the look of Dibbling.
You talk about the same Southampton guy.
Yeah, the left footer. He's like 18, 19.
Are we really being linked? Surely.
No, I've just said that I think that I think that he would be a good player to get in.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we've been linked with him.
Okay.
Steph is reminding us that Antony scored against Barca and Liverpool, and also the famous win against Newport County. I think Antony scored for 3 games in a row when he first came. Antony has had 86 appearances but scored 12 goals. That can't be true. Like, it's got to be less than that, surely. I mean,
86.
1 in 8. Ugh.
I mean, he played a lot of cup games, early stages.
A game's a game. It doesn't matter. Game's a game.
Well,
86.
It's still not a lot.
Or especially when you look at what you want from your wingers. Like, I mean, hardly assists. Was Dan James better than Antony? Yes.
Yes. Dan James looks like Garincha if you compare him to Antony. Jesus Christ. And Garincha had he had one short leg, and this guy looks like he doesn't have legs, literally.
Yeah. He'll probably see his contract out on loan. Antony could not handle the biggest club in the world, same as Xerxes. We got Richard in the house. Good evening. We could do a buy one, get one free deal, get rid of Shaw and Antony together.
I'm salivating.
Right, Bart's trying to get back in your good books, Yabba. Maguire was the butt of jokes not that long ago, but his comeback shows his mental resolve and how difficult it is to turn the tide. Antony should remember this. You happy with Bart now?
Yeah, you were vexed him at the start, but Bart gets a thumbs up from me.
All right. 12 goals is true. 8 goals in his first season. Wow. All right. Dora, is there how embarrassing is it for United to have this season got rid of Sancho and now looking to get rid of the player that we replaced him with? They cost us, I think, combined about £150 million. And we're going to be lucky to see a tenner for the pair of them.
I mean, it emphasizes United and the way the club operates in terms of recruiting in the last few years. I mean, even more, last 10 years, I would argue. You can count good transfers to United on one hand, which is insane. And, this is all coming to, bad, people, not footballing people or people who don't know what are they doing. They're just, throwing money around, like, Ed Woodward did it. Like, I mean, whoever sanctioned that Antony transfer needs to be, I don't know what, I know they're fired, Murto, Hegris or whoever was, dealing with that, but also whoever thought, okay, 80 mil is a great price. And and I don't know, honestly, and I know Ten Hag didn't say, didn't want him to be, didn't want him to cost 80 mil, because I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's Ten Hag's fault, he paid 80 million for him or 90 million or whatever. I'm not going to, judge him that much on that, but I will. I'm sure he's asking himself, what did I see in this guy to want him that much at United? And I'm still trying to find that, reasoning why Ten Hag thought, oh my God, this Antony guy, like he was under me, at Ajax, he was a good player. He's going to be great in the Premier League. Like, I don't know. I think Ten Hag I think he underestimated the Premier League a lot in the way he's recruiting his players, because he's buying undersized, midfielders. Next season we are going to see. No, but seriously, we are going to see 5'3" goalkeeper instead of Onana. As the size of me, and he's going to say, "Oh my God, he's going to dominate the Premier League." Like, I'm not trying to, diminish short kings in the chat, short queens. I'm a short queen as well. I'm quite short, but you need to be realistic, and you need to be realistic and see what you need from the team and what kind of players are going to be suited for the league. You need to take in account everything surrounding managing of the club. And Antony is a great mistake. I would argue that he is probably the biggest mistake the club did. I would say Pogba coming back to United for 89 mil is close to the top, but I think Antony and us playing 90 million euros on a player that barely proved himself in the Eredivisie. He's undersized. He's not even fast. I would argue Garnacho is much faster than him. Even Amad Diallo is much faster than him. Even Omar Forster was faster than him. He's just running around like a little bee. But he does things. But but then in the end he doesn't finish it, right? People are saying, but he's creating space for others. He's running. But when he gets the ball, he fumbles it. And to me, it's a great mistake of United. And hopefully we get rid of him sooner. And I know some people are going to say, once again, we are diminishing our squad depth. What squad depth? We are not. Ten Hag obviously doesn't use him. He obviously prefers Amad Diallo and Garnacho on that right wing. Hence why Antony isn't playing. So get rid and recuperate some of the losses or whatever, and just either promote a guy, a youngster on that right wing from the academy, or just try to find someone else, because this is an embarrassment in my opinion. And I think as United fans, we are kind of done with people experimenting and embarrassing ourselves in the transfer window as we have been doing it in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I think the only real positives that you can kind of get out of this is that at least Ineos are kind of churning these players out. It's often said that an expensive transfer costs you 3 to 4 years. For example, Arsenal are probably still feeling the costs of Pepe, who I think was 60, 70 million.
I think closer to 70.
Yeah. It's getting an expensive player in that doesn't work out is always a bit of a nightmare. And I think that when you talk about Ten Hag, he must absolutely hate Antony. I
don't know why is that so funny.
But I mean, like, think of what he's done. There's that ridiculous picture of him coming on off the bench. Like, I don't know what he looked like a little snapping turtle or something. There was that game where he did the fidget spinning. His refusal to sort of play at left back and stuff. He's just every week just being shit. And like he must look at Antony and Martinez and feel a bit let down. I feel that they haven't really sort of come on, but maybe they feel let down with Eric.
Can I add something about Antony as well? It seems like in the last few, I think I would argue in a year, last year and a half or season and a half, his head is not with the club at all, in my opinion. I think that, maybe some of the outside stuff, I checked out his I think I follow him on Instagram. I don't know why. I will unfollow him after this stream. Like, okay, he has a kid or whatever, but, it feels like, for the most part, he's just, he's just there. And I don't believe that his head has been with the club at all in the last season. And so,
you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's Ronaldo. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, Antony was a Portuguese speaker, and I remember Ronaldo scored a goal. He didn't do the Sue. He did one about like pretending to be asleep. And apparently that was something to do with like Antony found him asleep on the bus, and they all found it funny. But I think that Antony was very, very close to Ronaldo and worshipped him a bit. And since like, the treatment of Ronaldo by Ten Hag, I think is probably what started the breakup of their relationship, because Antony hasn't performed for Ten Hag, and there's rumors that that when Casemiro said, I'm not being on the bench in a cup final, Antony was like, yeah, me neither, but no one really cared because it's Antony.
I mean, who cares? Like, go to Saudi Arabia, like your idol. Like, I don't care, honestly. Like, he's not your dad, he's not your bro or whatever. You need to be sure you need to ensure to have future in football. And if you sign for United, you need to be 100%. Not just for United, for any club in the world, you need to be 100% in it if you want to be, if you want to stay within the at the top of the football pyramid or whatever. Like, how can you come to United, get paid so much money, which I don't think he deserved, in all honesty, but he did it, right? He got it. Why do you decide to stroll through it? Why don't you give your all? Why don't you give your 100%? Like, do
you know what it's like, Dora? Like, there's a particular genre of film where like country girls move to New York. And there's a bit like when they sort of get to New York where they're like hanging out of the car listening to Miley Cyrus, just loving the fact that they're in New York. Yeah. And that's what Antony has been like. He's just loved the fact he's been at United and then has put no effort in, hasn't improved on any aspect of his game, and has just caused trouble. And to be honest, I can't wait till he's gone.
Yeah.
And we just shut it down. But we got to talk to the comments. Stuart is starting off saying he wouldn't pay 25 quid for Sancho. Bilal is informing us that he's just bought a new 65-inch HD, all singing, all dancing TV. Can't believe how realistic the picture is. In fact, it's that realistic. When Manchester United play Thursday night, I'll probably be able to smell shit. Change your clothes then, I suspect. Steph's been making a lot of fun jokes tonight. Get the impression that Dora's not keen on Antony.
Oh, who would have thought? Yeah.
Big G, despite his name, is bigging up the little people after these horrible quotes from Dora. Simon Warner, I expected big things from Antony when he signed.
We all did.
Crackheads. Okay, crackheads talking about bringing back 5'5" Gomez as a 6. We're getting relegated to the Oompa Loompa League.
Would you take him? Would you take him? Would you take Gomez?
Which Gomez?
Angel Gomez.
Angel Gomez.
Oh.
Do you know what? Because Yabba likes him so much, I probably would. Like,
I was hoping that he don't go and stink the place out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, he's plays as a 6 now. I haven't, followed him that much, but he was a right winger when he left United, right? Angel
I
Blooms.
think he's just a complete midfielder. To be fair,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's small.
Doesn't matter. This doesn't
It
matter.
does.
It doesn't matter. He's the sort of guy who played forward passes time and time again. Do you see what he did for England the other day with that little pass around the corner for the goal? And in playing in that role, he gave the ball away a couple of times, but I like that. You got to get the ball and be bold and pit it forward, pop, 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 playing it in between the lines. He's a very good player. Forget about his small. That's part of the traditional thing. Why people don't make it, who, like yourself, Darius, who didn't make it as a pro because of that mindset that if you're too small, you're not going to be good enough. But you're technically good enough, So
Yeah, but I wasn't physically good enough. I got beaten up.
That's the mindset of the English.
No, that's what happened. Like all the boys.
No. I think if you grew up in Spain or something like that, playing technical football, you get small players out there playing really good football and be able to beat teams. Look at Xavi and Iniesta. If they were English, would they make it? Probably not, because of the culture.
Not in the 6.
Well,
who was their 6?
Xavi.
No, Busquets. Who is the current Spain number 6?
Yeah, but this is
Rodri.
6'3", both of them.
I'm talking about Santi Cazorla or him. He's tiny.
Oh,
I'm talking about Xavi. All these players are midfield players who are tiny, and if they're English, they probably wouldn't make it in the game because of the culture of being small. This is why we got rid of Angel Gomez. He's probably too small. We're not going to make it. Didn't really give him a shot, and now he's gone away. Even though he's not playing first team football all the time, he's a talented footballer. And if you know anything, I think if you know about football and you know what he's got, like Mr. B said, he's an all-round player. He can do it all. He plays a 10, 8, 6. He'll be a good addition to our squad, and he'll be giving us a style of play, keeping the ball, dictating the play in the tempo as well. And it doesn't matter if he's small. I just still think he would do a good job, and I will always support. Angel Gomez is one of my favourite players.
I know. I mean, I would take him back, but there's no way he's playing in 6 in the Premier League. 8, 10, no issues with it. But we lack so much aerial power, so much physical power in our team. I mean, look at, we conceded that stupid corner goal at the weekend because once again, Rasmus Højlund showing that he's completely ineffective in either box. Delo as well, switching off. But Steph is saying we should have kept a Langer. Completely agree. I love myself a bit of a Lange. Solo loved him as well. He loved him so much he couldn't pronounce his name. Stuart Marshall's a bit late to the party with the Chido Obi Martin stuff. Yeah. I think that he made his competitive debut for the under-18s last night in a game that they won 2-1. He's someone that Yabba brought up somehow before Fabrizio Romano. That sounds like a lie, but it's completely true. Yabba broke the news. He looks a cracking player, and he's seen as our third choice striker at the moment. Yeah, Yabba.
Yeah, and Kone's been training with the first team as well. So maybe there's a lot of changes been happening, bringing these youngsters through.
Yeah, it's believed that a lot of the youngsters are going to Turkey. I don't know if we'll see any get on the pitch, but they're going to be in the squad.
For the whole traveling experience, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is a really good game to take youngsters to. With a really intimidating crowd, they're going to be setting the fire alarm off in the hotel and all that kind of stuff. Really show them what European football can be like. Villa are 2-0 up, and I think you've all seen what they're called. Real Madrid have got back into that game. It's 2-2.
Of course they did.
Yeah. Yabba, would you take Antony for your Sunday team?
As a goalie.
If he remembers his boots.
Oh my God.
Very good. Very good.
Look at this. Stuart Marshall didn't like Alangi.
He was meh.
I like him. We've got Andrews come in, calling us jabrones. I think is that Italian?
What is it?
No, that's a slang.
Yeah, the
Whatever
Rock used to
it is.
say it in the wrestling, jabroni.
Oh, wow.
And then look at this. Someone do me some scores. I've just been napping. No, we're not your secretary, Andrew.
Google
Honestly. Yeah. But I can tell you from Aces that Arsenal have missed a pen.
Yes, they did. But they are 1-0 up against Shakhtar. You know what? You got me there, Andrew. Yeah. After I said I will not do it, I'm doing it, but I will not anymore. Continue, Bathime.
All right, Dora, I want you to tell me what you think about these continuous rumours coming out of Italy that Joshua Zirkzee believes he's made a mistake and would like a loan to either Milan, the club that he kind of turned down, or Juve.
Well, if it's true, well, buckle up, boy, because you're going to play it for United if you like it or not. I don't care about your... I want my pizza, mamma mia. I want to, who cares? Like, you had a chance to go to Milan, and I know that that transfer negotiation, broke down. But I don't care, honestly. And also, it's a bit stereotypical, but you know what? They're my neighbors. I know few. Like, it's not. They are truly like this. But yeah, I don't care. Honestly, be humble, sit down, be humble, as Kendrick Lamar says. And you know what? Learn how to play in the Premier League and learn how to play as a striker in the Premier League. Because you know what? Once again, I'm sounding like a typical Slavic person, or all temperamental, in a minute you will hear me speak, in a bad Russian accent or something like that, and just deal with it.
What's going on?
I'm sick and tired of it. But I'm sick and tired of people complaining. Oh, you know what? You should have thought about it, 3 months ago. I don't know if it's true. If it's true, I stand my case. I really don't care. If it's not, then once again we are hearing, media taking United's name in their newspapers, in their news, trying to stir something up after a win at the weekend, which he wasn't part of, if I'm not mistaken. I think Højlund was starting. So it's strange, but I don't have compassion or empathy for players who get here after 2 months. They're already complaining. Just try to adapt, try your best to be in that first team, and I don't know what to say. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb, guys. Like, I am sick and tired of this news, honestly, especially when it comes to when it's connected to United players. And yeah, I wish it to be honestly over.
And to be honest, I was really shocked when Zirkzee, the first thing he said when he turned up is, "Don't expect a lot of goals, lads. That's not my game." It's like, bloody number 9. Stop making up positions. Start scoring goals. Right, Yabba, we've got a comment from Chat Sport saying, do we think that this is true? You're a fan of Zirkzee. Talk to me.
Do I think it's true? I think a lot of stuff we see here or we talk about is speculation. So we're going to talk about it. It's been unearthed, this comment or this allegation. We've heard about Di Canio saying that he should be signing for Juve. What I think it is, what I'm thinking about is this. He's gone on this travel, hasn't he? He's gone through Europe. He went from Dutch football, then he went to Bayern Munich, under 18s, whatever he played, B team, whatever. Then he ended up in Italy. And at a young age, he's probably thinking he's met his missus out there, probably living by the mountains, beautiful Sardinia, Bologna, great food, the lifestyle of a footballer. Everything's so relaxed and everything, and he's enjoying it. And he's playing for a good team. We're really successful, and the culture he must really enjoy, And that it's classy living out in Italy and playing football out there. Good lifestyle. It is. You see.
I know, but you're going to talk about the Arndale Centre in Manchester next.
The There you go, exactly. Some scallywags approached him in the car. He must be horrified, and his girlfriend as well. So I just think it's a cultural thing. When I look at other players that have come over, Adrian Mutu, he came over from Italy, and what happened to him in London, he couldn't take it. Crespo, great player in Italy, bang goals.
Yeah, he could take it, Adrian.
I thought that as well.
So, yeah.
Shut up. I wanted to make that joke, but I just stopped myself there.
Mr. V couldn't help himself. I took out Crespo as well. Crespo when
Shevchenko as well.
There you
Legend
go.
of the game.
There you go. So all these players have come from the culture of Italy, and it's been a culture shock because here you have to work hard, the cold conditions, the lifestyle, the food. If you're a connoisseur of foods, you're dying out in Italy. You don't go to the pub or drink. I was reading a story. Do you see Curtis Davis? His interview. He's talking about when he was on tour. They went to Dubai with Brian Robson as manager, and they gave the scheduled train and everything. Said give that to your wives and girlfriends, and then like at the end of the meeting said, now get that paper, now rip it up. We're going to boozing. This is the culture that they 35 shots, 35 Guinnesses or whatever. And
Brexit means Brexit. I love it. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the culture, isn't it? And I think he's struggling at the moment with the culture to change, because he's probably dreaming, looking at Bologna playing Villa tonight in the Champions League. He's looking at Italian football, a bit like Lukaku as well, who's enjoying living in Italy. He's enjoying playing out there compared to playing up north in the northwest. Unless you've been to the northwest of England, you don't realise, and then you compare that to Sardinia. or Milan or Naples or Rome. It's a massive contrast, and I just think the culture is an issue, and maybe something's been leaked, something's been said. Maybe his teammates back home said, he's said something detrimental about living in Manchester, and something's been leaked in that respect. But I would say I'm like Dora with him: buckle down, become a legend of the club, and then go back to Italy and in a few years' time, if that's where you want to be. But make yourself really show you this is how you become a real proper pro. If you can make it in the Premier League, after having that and change your life around, then you got it. You're not going to be here forever. You can make your money here and go and build a home in Sardinia when you retire.
All right. Well, it turns out Yabba's a big fan of Sardinia.
I've said it a few times, haven't I? I love Sardinia. I think it's beautiful.
All right.
Italy is beautiful.
Yeah. It sounded like you were dissing Italy a little bit earlier, Dora.
I mean, it's a friendly neighbor.
Italian?
They are dissing us. They think Dalmatia is Italian, or like we have a beef here. But we are reluctant neighbors. But we kind of respect each other. I don't know. Like I think we kind of do. So I'm allowed to do it.
Fair enough. All right, and I'm allowed to look at the comments, and then we'll get to you, Mr. B. Jeff is saying bye to anyone who doesn't want to be here. Big G is saying if he wants to go, then follow the rules. Buy yourself out of the contract. Jeff is apologising for calling you a crackhead, Yabba. Sure he'll accept it.
I mean, we are unhinged today, I guess.
Yeah. Dora is right. For all we know, this is a bullshit story. But Simon wants to give Xerxes a chance. Not every player scores. I have faith in him. Seems like quite a contradictory statement, that, Simon, from number 9. Stuart is not a fan of Xerxes at all. Adios, Xerxes. Really not a fan of his whole hold-up play. That's about it. And he's going to take him to the airport. It's very kind. Interesting angle from Andrew. Perhaps it's just his agent using it to try to get more minutes for him, which I think is a good theory. We paid 36.5 million, and we don't like to waste money. He will score goals before the January window. I hope he will. Andrew wants his pound of blood. Yabba, are you regretting comparing him to what was it, Batistuta and Ronaldinho?
That's Thiago Motta who said that.
And Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, I was repeating the quote. But I still think he's a talented player. I still want him to blow up at Man United.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Agile Beast, good evening to you, sir. I am hoping Xerxes works on his weaknesses and turns it around, shows what he's got, that he's got what it takes for his success at United. I want to see some fire and hunger in him. Couldn't agree more. I Am Titanium has given us a scoreline without...
It's 4-2 right now.
Wow.
They just scored. I mean,
Wow.
it wasn't even close. Real Madrid.
Who scored for them?
For Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Rudiger.
That's Mbappe.
No, Mbappe didn't score. Rudiger, Vinicius, Lucas Vazquez, and Vinicius Junior once again.
Oh, God. Right, listen up, everyone. Bilal's from Manchester, and he's not having any Manchester slander this evening. All right, he's watching on 65-inch TV, working on his jokes. He just doesn't want to hear it. Bart is saying the perfect player would have Xerxes' technical play and Lukaku's physicality and goal-scoring nous.
Yeah, but he's got a bent foot.
I agree.
Point.
Combine Berbatov with Lukaku, and you've got a hell of a player.
Yeah, agreed.
Steph is saying, I said Xerxes was the next Berbatov.
Oh, I wish.
Right, Mr. B. We know that we all know about buyer's remorse and things like that. We know that Alexis Sanchez apparently came to Carrington for one day and then tried to get out of his deal. Do you think that this Xerxes stuff is just like, it's been a bad start, he hasn't got a place in the team? Like, what's your reading on this?
He had a place in the team and didn't keep it. He played while Rasmus was out. If he was scoring goals or assisting, he would have been playing. So he's only just come. I mean, what's he missing about Italy? He can get you've got Amazon that can deliver anything to his doorstep. So he don't have to worry about certain pasta. You know, I'm sure his agent or his members of his family can fill up a suitcase full. You know, I know African people who send back stuff they're not even supposed to send back in the big tubes. So, you know, anything he wants, he can get. So I don't think it's food. Lifestyle. Have you seen his missus? Oh, Lord. He don't have to worry about that. So she ain't working. She's going to be at home. So
is this what we think, that what Xerxes, his priorities are sex and pasta? Like,
well, look, his belly's full and he's cool at home. So,
yeah, something else is empty.
Yeah, well,
Stop giggling.
I don't see why he would want to leave after he's been here 3 months. It makes no sense to me. If he does want to go, as somebody said, buy yourself out your contract, or we make sure that we make a profit. If we're going to sell him in January or get rid of him in January, then make sure that deal is for 50 million for whoever comes in, so that we don't look like mugs. If he wants to go, fine, but we make sure that we make money on him. You know, there's no way he's going in January. Absolutely no way on God's earth he goes in January. But if he's going to go in the new year, in the summer transfer window, then get everything set up now. You play your best, or you play as good as you feel you can play, and we make sure that we make a profit on him. That includes his wages. Then it's all good. Go on, piss off. He can fuck off if he wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, what concerns me about this is like the mentality of the player.
Yeah,
like yeah, and it's we've signed a lot of questionable mentalities over the years. Paul Pogba, Jadon Sancho, Donny van der Beek, Mason Mount. I notice is ruled out for the game against Fenerbahce because of that cut on his head. I mean, like, De Ligt, everyone has kind of said, you know, like people in football have said he's a sideways step and things. He's not really noticeably better than Maguire, but at least he's got a bit of bottle, like, about him. Like, you know, for some reason he decided to head someone's knee, but he came back on to play and things like that. And I used to think that was a minimum for a United player, but, you know, like Antony, like Xerxes, they don't get their way. They don't play every week. When they do play, they're bollocks. And now they're sort of like saying, do you know what? I love Sardinia. Yabba's sold me. I hate the Armdale. Sorry, Bilal. I'm pissing off. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hope that this is just made up stuff. But I have to say, his performance against Brentford was not a committed player. Is that unfair?
How long did he play for? He was a sub, right? How long did he play?
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Oh, wow. A lot he played a lot, actually.
He's like one of these guys that doesn't want to get his kit dirty.
Yeah, but that's his playing style. I mean, I don't understand what's going on here.
Well, Berbatov seemed lazy. He scored goals, Mr. B. Yeah, what is the deal with this guy?
Let Mr. B finish his point.
Sorry.
We bought this player. He's scored in the first game he's played. Fair enough. He's missed a couple of chances. But our forwards miss chances all the bloody time. That's why they play for us. We only sign bad. We only sign bad forwards. So I don't. He hasn't been here long enough to make it. People are saying, "Oh, he's shit. He's this. He's that." He's just turned up at the bloody club. He probably hasn't even got half of his wardrobe in from Milan moved into the house that he's renting yet. If he's renting a house, he might still be living in a bloody hotel. He might still be living out the bloody Lowry. You know what I mean? Maybe he hasn't settled. Maybe he hasn't found the base. You know what I mean? All the Man United players seem to do is rent out Greenwood's house and Pogba's house. You know what I mean? There's in other houses that they can.
They've seen some stuff. Those houses.
Maybe they're waiting. Maybe he's waiting for Antony to leave so he can settle in at Pogba's big house. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't get it. Give the guy time.
I think you make a good point because when Sancho came to the club, like we did know from his Dortmund and England days that he was absolutely useless at timekeeping. He wasn't a conscientious man, and he turned up late and stuff. And at Dortmund, I believe it was Haaland was assigned to him as his buddy to make sure that the lift was sorted in the morning and all those things. I really, really hope that United have learned from this and. Like someone has been assigned to Xerxes as a kind of not a mentor, but someone to make his transition to England a lot easier. But my big problem, Mr. B, and the point I thought you were going to make, is that we have two completely different centre forwards.
We were saying that yesterday, innit? We were saying that yesterday.
And I don't the recruitment of Xerxes I always found a bit surprising because you've kind of got to double down, I think, on Rasmus Højlund. It costs 70 million. There's obviously a player in there somewhere. He's a bit of a puppy dog at the moment, but he can score in the Champions League. He's fast, he's strong, he's got everything you need to be a very good striker. And then we get someone in who's completely different, and then don't really play him. So I feel that there's been a real haphazard recruitment this summer with getting players in that I don't really understand, like Ugarte and Xerxes and so on, when Luke Shaw is getting very, very close to being out injured for longer than Eriksen was after Eriksen died. That's not a joke.
That's
it's 10 days or something.
Wow.
For Manchester United, he obviously played for England in the summer, but it's 270 days since we haven't seen him.
Don't mention him to him. Don't mention him. I will get really mad.
Yeah.
So that's two guys who in the treatment room. I've saw Tyrone Mings, your favorite player. He's been out for nearly 3 years of his career. I've read that today as well. So
oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of time these guys are spent in hospital or on the treatment table,
Well, did he play for England during that time?
Who? Tyrone Mings?
Yeah.
No, but over his
he was
career, he's
injured.
had 3 years in injury
Okay.
I think he's had 2 major injuries. He's just coming back now. So that's a lot of time on the treatment table, which is or in hospital. Which leads me to think: who do you think is the coolest guy in hospital?
Oh no.
Oh,
Um,
God.
I
don't know.
tell me what it is. It better not be what I'm thinking.
The ultrasound guy.
Okay, it wasn't. That's all right.
And if he's not present, who do you think will be the coolest guy in the hospital?
I was going to say Dr. Freeze because I think he's from. Is he from like Batman or something?
Yeah, he's from Batman.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were going that way, but so I have no idea. What are you going for?
So if the if the ultrasound guy's not in, it'll be the hip replacement guy.
Oh, I like
Okay,
ultrasound.
We need to get this tumbleweed thing going. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just get one of your dogs.
Anyway, yeah, it is. I mean, when you look at the injury record and everything else, that's something we always sigh on. You mentioned Mason Mount earlier.
Yeah.
And then we talk about bad injuries and we're talking about players, bad signings. We talked about Antony tonight. We talk about Xerxes, who doesn't seem to have settled in Manchester yet, or apparently. So there's a lot of bad things going on around the club, and we don't need that. I think if these things start working out, like we said, we talk about Angel Gomez, for example, players that have left the club, and it used to be a case that we were told any player that leaves Man United goes downhill once they left. But we're seeing now, I've watched Marseille win 5-0 the other day against Montpellier, and guess who scored? Greenwood. Step over, touched his right foot, bang in the corner, and had an assist as well. And these things, I'm looking at that and thinking, wow, if only what could have been if we were professional and kept these guys on track and had a good recruitment policy and brought players into the first team who were good enough technically, don't worry about height or anything like that, controlled certain trade players' behavior as well. There's lots.
How are you going to control certain players' behavior?
I just think, it's true. It's only after the event, isn't it, that things happen. But I think now,
I think Langer and McTominay are better examples of players that would have probably featured a lot this season for us and are doing well at the clubs that they've gone to. I'm not sure how.
They're good pros, though, aren't they? You see,
how's Wan-Bissaka getting on?
He's at West Ham and he's doing all right. The fans love him down there as well.
Oh, do they? They're getting clap up every week, man. Listen, I want Garnacho to tear him one, boy.
We'll see. But
look at the comments.
It's just amazing, isn't it? When you see all these players like Sancho, everyone's talking about Sancho. He's gone to Chelsea.
Yeah, look now. He's fallen off a bloody cliff. It's fantastic.
Well, you know what? We will see in the Premiership. Let's see if he can do it in the Premiership, because there was a question. He can do it in Germany. Yeah. Can he do it in the Premiership for Chelsea? Let's see.
He can't. He can't.
We're doing a Xerxes. We're judging him too soon. Let's see.
How are we judging him too soon?
We said he had him for 3 years.
With Sancho, let's see what he does with Chelsea. Let's see what he does with Chelsea this season.
You're serious as well.
I just want to judge him at the end of the season. I'm going to give him that.
He loves Sancho.
Is it so? Because we remember, Mr. B, we're talking about Xerxes. Is it a Manchester thing? Is it about living in Manchester? Jadon Sancho was at Man City for a long time, but he's a London boy. So let's see how he gets on in London. There's no excuses anymore. Can he perform at
Chelsea? Are you turning us into like Atletico Bilbao, where we can only sign players from Stockport?
Guarantee Sancho does F all. He's going to do nothing.
Let's discuss it at the end of the season.
All right. He's going to end up getting dropped.
Yeah, he got dragged at half time against Liverpool.
Oh, there you go. It started already.
Trent saw off 3 Chelsea wingers in that match. It was absolutely crazy.
And then he
saw off Sancho, Neto, and someone else. Right, let's look at some comments.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, once again, is bigging himself up. So I just knew that Xerxes was the problem. Never seen him play, but he just knew it. Bart said De Ligt is a leader. It looks like he's the real deal. Leach is feisty too. Maguire is mentally strong, but the rest of them are flaky or brittle. I think that's actually quite true of our players. I think Deleu's got good character to him, and I think Anana has been quietly extremely good this season.
Yeah, he's good. I cannot fault him for that much.
And look, here's another forgotten man, Yoro. I forgot we had him. All right. Who is the Hobbit's favourite singer? Elvish Presley. Not a fan of that one, I have to say.
I have no idea. I don't get that at all.
Elvis
Pro
Presley
crowd.
was a very, very famous like rock and roll singer.
I
Mr.
know
B.
who. I know who he is.
Oh my god.
Macklemore laughs and titaniums.
Yeah. This one, I quite like this one. Why did the Pharaoh have a horn as a doorbell? So people could Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun.
Very
Oh
good. That's good.
God! Is this what it's got down to? I'm so glad I'm not here tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be doing what the first film you saw in the cinema was.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, so have a think for that. Villa have won 2-0 and they're now top of the league. Honestly, I'm very, very concerned. Villa and Chelsea look a lot better than we do. Top four is
A struggle.
yeah.
Especially Chelsea, after a lot of people wrote them off, and you're just buying players, but they look much better this season. Much better than us, I would say, aesthetically.
We forgot about Malacia as well, but he's on the grass. He's training.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He's having a baby,
got
isn't
18 left. He's had a baby.
Yeah, he was out. He was pregnant. That's why he was out for so long.
I see.
Gosh, shut up, he's like an elephant, right? He's like an elephant. He's pregnant for 2 years or something.
Dora, do you know that when baby giraffes are born, that when they come out of their mum, it's so high that they actually break their legs? It's really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard about
Pardon?
that.
When a baby giraffe is born, like
Sorry, this is a joke. Sorry, I don't even know. Let me just shut up. Sorry, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
yeah, you just keep researching who Elvis Presley is. No offense, Yabba, your jokes are shit, bro.
They're supposed to be. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Right, Andrew, I'm not reading your joke. I'll do Bilal's instead. My kid got hospitalised from a peekaboo incident. They're currently in the ICU.
Who's got Bob Monkhouse joke book out?
Not Bilal. God, some of the comments that we get here. Double A, thank you. Right, I'm fed up of reading the comments. They're just honestly, they're like borderline illegal. Some of the things you people say. Malacia, Only Fools and Horses here. Malacia asked whether he prefers grass or astroturf. If he answered he's never smoked astroturf.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Allegedly.
Can we put that on the thumbnail for tomorrow? A picture of Amrabat and Fred, Only Fools and Horses.
Could we rig that up? I'm sure there's ways of working things out.
Fred is Delboy, right? Because he's shorter.
Fred is gonna get munched. Fred is gonna get munched.
Right.
Solo jigging all over the screen when Fred comes on. Ooh, Fred. Listen, man, he's gonna get slap up, boy. He's gonna get destroyed. They're giving us nothing. They're giving us nothing.
Yeah, it is going to be quite a sight to watch Fred and Amrabat on the same team cantering about the pitch.
No chance.
All right. We've somehow managed to do an hour and 5 minutes without doing our main story, which I'm going to save for tomorrow in case there's no news. But we've been linked with Xavi Hernandez. You're right there, Dora?
Yeah, I'm trying to roll my eyes, but they just got I just crossed them, and I think it's time to go. It's time to go.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Try to do as many comments as possible. Remember to do all that liking and subscribing if you feel the drive to do that. Tomorrow night, Mr. B won't be here, but we're doing a straight swap with Stefan. And then we're probably doing a watch along or something. Just
got the watch along. I'm going to sit down here with my ice cream. I'm going to sit down here with my my alcohol that's not going to be looking like alcohol. I'm going to be in chill mode. I'm going to be in chill mode. I'm so confident, so confident.
Please don't tempt the gods. Like that ice cream would go everywhere if Fred just let like Roberto Carlos hit something in.
I would lose my shit.
We all would. Right, but it's time for Lack a Notch. So Lack a Notch from me.
We got Lack a Notch from me.
Lack a Notch from me.
Where is it? Here it is. Lack a Notch.